everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am here today with a layout using some of my scrapbook roulette items. So for those of you that are following along with this series, we're doing a scrapbook roulette where we draw out 5 items and we just keep them on the scrapbook desk and just try and use them for the month. So we don't have to use them up or anything like that, it's just about rediscovering our stash. And this month, one of the items I pulled out was buttons. So I'm doing a whole layout of buttons. I'm going with a rainbow theme. You don't watch me stick them all down. Don't panic. I am about to edit out the rest of the sticking with the glue gun, but I wanted to show you some of it so you could get an idea about what I was doing. So you'll see now that I have stuck down all of the buttons and I just used the hot glue gun. I know it's not going to last forever. It's not acid free and all that jazz, but to be honest, I don't mind. I'm probably the only ones that are ever going to look at my scrapbook, so I really don't mind if this isn't going to last forever and stand the test of time. But I was really kind of pleased with how that sort of rainbow effect looked with the buttons. Yeah, I really like it. So now I'm flicking through another one of my scrapbook roulette items, which was my fancy free 12 by 12 paper pad. Just pulling out some papers that I might like to use to layer up behind the photo. I don't want to do too much because obviously there's a lot going on with the buttons. And this is a very simple layout in the end, in terms of, I guess, the embellishment that I do. Not so simple in terms of the fact that it is covered with buttons. And sorry about the little camera hiccup there. I hit my phone with that 12 by 12 paper pad and I knocked my camera. But anyway, you got to see the lovely view of my side desk. So what I'm doing, back to the layout, is I am actually going to add some tissue paper sort of behind the photo, just because, as I said, there's a lot going on, and I just wanted something soft but some layers and some colour, and yeah, and I decided tissue paper was the way to go. So I found this purple tissue paper in my stash and I thought that went well with the colours, sort of, not that there's any purple in the rainbow, but I just thought that, you know, there is purple in some of the papers with the Pink Paisley collection, and I just thought that kind of pastel-y purple just worked. So that's what I'm doing. A couple of layers of that, and yeah, just trimming that to size. I don't worry too much about it being super neat, although I think I do, yeah, trim a little bit more off. But I'm not too concerned. I mean, it's just tissue paper, right? So I could have torn it. I don't tear a lot very often, actually. I should do that more often. Maybe I'll try that on my next layout. And now I'm just deciding which papers I want to go with. I've got some offcuts of these already, and I do decide to use some of the offcuts that I already have rather than cutting into a whole new piece of paper. So I'm just going to layer these up, and I've got my tape runner here, but I'm not loving it. It's one from Spotlight. I haven't tried it before. I wanted to give tape runner a go because it is easier than double-sided tape. But I don't know, it's just, yeah, I'm not loving it. It's not working properly for me. But maybe with some practice I might learn to love it because it is easier. Maybe I should try one of those ATG guns that everybody has in the States. I don't know. We'll just keep on keeping on. I don't mind double-sided tape, and it's easy to get my hands on and it's relatively cheap, but I wanted to try these tape runners. So I've layered up my photo, and now I'm sort of going, how am I going to attach it? I could have got the glue gun back out, but I'd actually already packed it away. And so I'm sort of going, all right, how am I going to attach this, you know, how am I going to attach the photo with the buttons? Because they come so far up. I'm like, I can't use my tape runner. I could use double-sided tape, but then I decide I've got some foam dots and I just kind of squish them in between the buttons, and that works. Bit unconventional maybe, but it works. So I'm sort of just putting them all around the place, and every now and again I put the photo back on top just to see, you know, if I'm going all right. I probably should have put some more in the top right, but I didn't. And it doesn't matter. I think that's enough to stick it down. I do like those buttons. I do. It's a bit button overload maybe, given that the whole page is covered in buttons, but I don't know, something different. I've certainly got nothing like that in my scrapbook. So that's a good thing, right? And now again, this is also in my scrapbook roulette. I pick something with my favourite colour, and blue is one of my favourite colours. This is teal, that's a kind of blue, so I went with the thickers. See what I did there? Teal, blue, anyway. So I chose the title Wander because I'm actually at Cataract Gorge in Launceston when this photo was taken, and I just thought the title Wander works well. I am sticking down a few of the buttons that came from the Reject shop in Australia. I'm going to put a few of those around. A couple of them have nice colours that kind of go with, you know, the layout, so that's good. And I sprinkle a few within yeah, in amongst the buttons as well, which I think looks cute. I really wanted to put this yellow one down, but it wouldn't fit. Oh no, it did fit. I really want to put one of them down. I'm trying to remember now. Oh yeah, the pink one. And it wouldn't fit, and so I just pulled up a button, and it did rip the paper a bit, but I just stuck the other button on over the top, and it was hunky-dory. So this is pretty much done. I'll be honest. Yeah, it's basically done. I really don't do that much more to it. I do add this little cloud because I figure it does work, you know. It's an outside. And the little arrow down the bottom, and I feel like that's it. That is it. So I'll give you some close-ups, but really there's not a lot to see. I hope you enjoyed this layout. I hope it's given you some inspiration to use buttons of all things. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye guys.